Hey, I'm David Matthews with Spark of Life, and I want to share 3 points with you today in this video. And it's entitled 3 Ways to Ignite a Real Life After Loss. And that's quite ambitious. You know, the 3 points I want to share with you today can actually reignite your life after loss for you to live forward with the pain that you are experiencing, but a pain that will not debilitate you for the rest of your life. It still will be there in some form or fashion. And I know many of you feel hopeless and helpless, and I want to repeat what I say often is feelings of hopelessness and helplessness are real. Those emotions really do matter, and you really feel those emotions of helplessness and hopelessness, but they do not mean that you are actually hopeless and helpless. What it means is that's what you're feeling at the moment. And so we're going to talk about how to ignite a new relationship with grief. We're not going to talk about getting rid of your grief. No, grief is going to be part of your life. It's part of all our lives. So sometimes we have losses that we have never categorized as a loss. We've never labeled it as a loss. And it could, shattered dreams are losses. And some of you are going through divorce and you think, well, I shouldn't come to a Spark of Life grief retreat because I'm just divorced. Well, divorce is a huge loss. And it's the death of a relationship. It's also the death of dreams, of expectations, right? And so there's all these types of losses. So how do you reignite your life to live a real life with so many losses? And some of you have that one big loss that it might be a child who ended his life by suicide or a spouse that doesn't love you anymore. Those are huge losses. So 3 ways. Number 1, I've got to reignite my thoughts that I need to let go of, and then a lot of question marks that I maybe need to find answers for, or maybe accept the fact I'll never have an answer. So there's pluses, minuses, and question marks. The pluses are things we want to hold on to. I want to hold on to good memories of my mom and dad, for example. I want to let go. The minus things are the negative things, are the things that are not true, that hurt my reignition of my life after loss. And I want to read you some of those things. Here's the negative things that we've dealt with people who've come to one of our retreats. We've done about 120 3.5-day retreats with 1,800 grievers, and we've done about 80 grief workshops for churches and talked to thousands of people who have just devastating loss. You just go on all day about it. But here's what they've taught us about things in their brain box they need to get rid of. Here are some things here. I want to say, I can never be happy again. That's in a lot of people's brain box. I don't have the right to be happy again. Really. Some people are afraid to be happy again, or they think it dishonors my loved one if I'm ever full of joy again, or I can never have joy again. I can never have fun again. I don't deserve happiness. We've heard this, that God must not love me because I prayed to God and he didn't answer the way I thought, and I give up on God. Some people say God took my loved one when maybe God didn't take them at all. Another person says in their brain box, everything happens for a reason. We had one lady come to a retreat. She's 70 years old, and she had lost 3 children, 2 to suicide. She was an alcoholic, a recovering alcoholic. She told me privately when I talked to her after dinner one night that when she was small, a relative started to sexually abuse her, and she had never told anybody until the night she told me. And it had happened like 60 years earlier. And she made this statement. She said, of course, I deserved to be abused because I was such a terrible person. She was 10 years old. And she said she deserved to be abused. And she said, I've been a terrible person, and I started having sex with every single boy that ever dated me, which is not uncommon for somebody experiencing what she experienced. She considered herself a whore, a slut, a person God couldn't love. And she said, and then God, of course, punished me for being such a bad person. Now I haven't told you the half of it, but this is one case of hundreds we've dealt with like this that have all these thoughts in their brain box that are negative and they're false. God did not arrange. She said to me, everything happens for a reason. And I said, so God wanted you to be sexually abused as an 8, 9-year-old kid. Well, I guess he did because he let it happen. Well, I told her, I don't know what your theology is, but my God is not one that wants a kid abused. In fact, my theology says that if somebody hurts a little one, my Lord said it'd be better for them to be drowned in the depths of the ocean if you hurt one of these little ones. No, God didn't plan for you to be abused. All these negative things led her to give up on life, but she came to a retreat to try to find life. And I'm here to tell you, she did find life. But first she had to get rid of that stupid stuff in her brain box. Not that she's stupid, but that stuff in your brain box, like you don't deserve to be happy. You don't deserve to have a rich life. Maybe you're full of guilt and you think, if I'd have only done this, my loved one wouldn't have died. If I'd have only taken care of my mom more when she lived with me, maybe mom wouldn't have died. If I'd have been a better father, maybe my child wouldn't have taken his life or her life by suicide. All that stuff we've heard. So point number one, to reignite your life, I've got to examine the stuff in my brain box and get rid of that stuff that's not true. And I got to claim it to be false. Second of all, I got to keep it simple. I often refer to Gary Keller's book, The One Thing, Keller, Gary Keller, The One Thing, and he has the domino effect in there. And one domino can knock over another domino, and the world record for domino falling is 4.5 million dominoes. A company in the Netherlands, a domino production company, did it, for publicity. They own the world record, at least the last time I checked. 4.5 million. The poor guy who got paid minimum wage to set up the dominoes, wow, he should go on strike, right? He should have threatened to knock down the dominoes before the movie cameras started, the videos. And 90,000 joules of energy were generated. And if you don't know what a joule of energy is, join this guy. But I've looked it up, and it's a measurement of energy. And by somebody knocking down a 2-inch domino, just doing this, it generated 90,000 joules of energy. Our encouragement to you is knock down the 2-inch domino. Recovery from loss is achieved by the griever when the griever gets up and makes a decision, a correct decision and a small decision to be healthy in their recovery. Simple and small and correct choices that you make. One choice is to give yourself permission to grieve. Another choice is give yourself in the same breath permission to have a healthy recovery. Keep it simple. What's the next right thing you do? In all our videos, we try to keep it simple. You say, it's easy for you, David. I know, but keep it simple. What do you need to do today to have more hope? We suggest you do one simple thing. Write down on a piece of paper what you're grateful for, of people in your life that you still have. One suggestion is to speak words of life to somebody. Hey, you look nice today, David. If you told me that right now, David, I like that black whatever you got on and that blue shirt underneath. Yeah, that would be nice. I would like that, right? Speak words of life to one person today. That's all you need to do. And then do the other things you need to do, but keep it simple. The third point is to ignite a new relationship with grief. I got to get rid of the bad stuff in my brain and start chipping away there. And then I got to give myself permission to keep it simple. And the third way is to ignite a new relationship with grief by doing what? I cannot change what happened in the past. In one of my recent videos I just finished earlier today, we talked about that. And I don't mind repeating it because it is so necessary. But I am in charge of my own recovery. Nobody else is. You're not. I'm not. I mean, I am. You're not. I'm not in charge of your recovery. You are. You have the power within you to get up and make a decision not to not feel sad. Don't make that decision to not feel sad because you're going to feel sad. That's part of grief. I'm still sad that my daddy died, even though I wanted him to die because he had Alzheimer's. I'm still sad about it, but it doesn't decimate my life. debilitate other relationships. But I've had losses that do that because I let them do that. I let those losses do that. So I have the power to give myself permission to grieve and to mourn, because that's healthy and that's normal and it stinks and all that. But I also have the power to decide to get up and do one positive thing today for my life. I own that choice. So do you. You own that choice. Yeah, this is a pep talk, but we've worked with so many grievers, and I know this: when somebody believes in you, when somebody believes you can do something, you can do it. Now, you might not feel like doing it, but you have a choice. I have a choice, with my past being what it is, with all the losses, with all the deaths, with all the crap that happened in the past. I have the power within me to say, I'm not going to let that past with all the crap define who this guy is. I refuse to let it happen. Now, do I let it define me sometimes? Yes, because I'm human. But deep down, I know I'm in charge. And part of that is giving myself permission to grieve, in the same breath, permission to do something positive today with my life. Today, to do something positive. We've got 4 couples that work with Spark of Life. We've had more than that. Each of these couples has had horrendous loss in their life. Rusty and Nancy lost a son. Dennis and Terry lost a daughter. Al and Barb. Barb was the victim of a sexual assault, a rape by a homeless man that she was helping, that just rocked their world. Carrie and Scott lost 3 children. All 4 of these couples have grieved deeply. All 4 of these couples have helped, I don't know how many couples live forward. They give their lives to other people to try to help other people not give up on life. That's how they've reignited their life with their pain. Own your recovery. Do one thing today that will help you. I don't care what it is. Help somebody else today. Viktor Frankl states, and I'll repeat this, that the key to life is to find a purpose that's outside of yourself, to help somebody else. And you can start with an email or a phone call, or you can just start by doing the next right thing, whatever you need to do. Reignite your life after loss by doing these 3 things. At Spark of Life, we would like to add more meat to this. We would like to add to what we've said in this video. It's only so much we can do in a short video. But at Spark of Life, we have an online course you could take right now. You could go online and sign up for that course, and it's everything we do in a retreat, but you're on your own on that. I mean, with videos, and then, or you could come to a Spark retreat, or you could sign up for coaching with one of these people we've talked about today, and others that work with Spark and our coaches. Do something positive today. We want to walk beside you, and we want you to know one thing: there's always hope. At Spark of Life, there's always hope.